Welcome to Chamber Talk, brought to you by North Orange County Chamber, where we explore the stories and insights of leaders, business owners and CEOs from various sectors who are making a difference in our community and region. Whether you're tuning in via podcast or joining us via video, we're glad to have you here. I'm your host, Andrew Gregson, and in this episode, I'm honoured to be joined by someone who has been strengthening and uplifting our community and is currently serving as the Mayor of Buena Park. Today actually marks her 296th day in office as Mayor. And as we get the chance today to learn more about her journey, the challenges she faces and achievements she's proud of, and her vision for the city moving forward. Joyce Ahn, Mayor Ahn, should I say, thank you so very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Andrew, for having me here. It's going to be an exciting conversation.
It is going to be an exciting conversation, and spilling the tea too at the same time. So I would like to start off with an easy question for you, really, is starting at the beginning. You've been a Buena Park resident for more than 20 years now, but your leadership roots go back a little further than that. So do you mind sharing a little bit about your professional background and how it sort of shaped you coming into public service?
Absolutely. I've been in sales and marketing for quite a long time, maybe 20, 25 years, Vice President of Sales and Marketing for technology products. So basically, in a nutshell, I headed up selling computer hardware, such as notebooks or monitors prior to that, into the U.S. national retailers, like Best Buy, Walmart, Costco. I don't know. Can I mention these names?
You can mention as many as you want.
Sam's Club and blah, blah. Okay. But in those days, traveled quite a bit, led a great sales team, built a teamwork, and make sure that we launched totally new brand in the States. Moved on to North and South America and worked on project management, all types of different roles I covered, including OEM sales. So we used to OEM to major brand names in the States. So 20, 25 years of that. And towards the, I believe maybe 20 years ago or so, a little less than 20 years ago, I retired. With $400 million revenue, annual sales. And so that was the end of my technology career. And so while I'm doing this, I also raised kids, and obviously that got me involved with schools. Mm-hmm. A lot of volunteer work, church, as well. Led a youth group. Was one of the co-directors for the youth group with my husband. Took him camping every summer. Nice. Bible camp and all that. All those experiences pretty much got me more interested in community, a sense of community, whether it's the Korean community or Christian community or my neighbors and so on, different types of nonprofit organizations and whatnot. I was able to take on roles as president, chairwoman, and so on, directors, to advocate the groups that needed the most help.
Right. Youth
or seniors and whatnot. And I was never a politician, by the way. But as I was going into these community service types of roles, mm-hmm. Just woke me up.
Right.
So many needs are out there, mm-hmm. not being addressed, mm-hmm. or could be dealt with right. in a better way. So got more involved. And that also helped me land jobs as, for instance, census field manager.
Okay.
Yeah, for the 2020 census. Or senior healthcare coordinator with a PACE program and things like that. All to do with community services.
So it sort of just led you into that path, didn't it, really?
Yes. So every time I take on a task or a job, it always had to do with community services, for good or
Indifferent.
It's still like I kept on going the same path for some reason.
That's a really fascinating story. So when you're looking currently, when you're looking at businesses maybe coming to the city, you really have an experience about how businesses may move into other countries, because that's a big deal, isn't it?
Yes.
What is your take on that? Is it easier than people think? Is it difficult? Is there? I mean, how do you see that yourself in the position you're in today?
I say if you're going to be launching from an overseas manufacturing facility or headquarters, it is probably one of the toughest thing to do.
Right.
You have to really get your feet wet and build your credibility with people or other companies here.
Right.
And if you don't know the laws and the procedures, it's going to be tough. So a lot of times you would need to consult with people that are, professional in this area. So back in those days, luckily I was already I had already worked with a distributor long time ago.
Right.
This is back with the XT and AT stage.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with
some time ago.
8088. Anyway, so that said, so I kind of knew where the industry was going. Also, the needs out there, and we needed the best, the fastest, and the most affordable type of computer hardware. It used to be thousands of dollars, and we got the price points of less than $1,000 on thin and light notebooks and so on. So I'm going kind of several years ago, and I don't want to age myself.
Sure.
It was very for me. It was a very good learning experience. Also got to know how the retail business operates and what type of consumer mindset you're approaching, and the marketing strategy and whatnot, and also project management side too.
Right.
So moving products from overseas to the States, it's a long and very winded process, and that's all those things just gave me a whole lot of knowledge and experience, and the know-how that I have been able to build also helps me today.
Right.
With a lot of companies that want to open up in the city of Buena Park or somewhere in North Orange County or in Orange County or even in LA County. So I try to help as much as I can. But the bottom line is it's really a long and arduous process.
Right.
And I always tell these folks, don't give up too easily.
Right. Just keep going.
Just keep going. Yeah, and you have to do it smartly. Right. And you have to have some strategical mind and also the expertise. Just get some help, partner up, and this type of collaboration will help you and the future of your business.
Now, I'd like to dovetail on that a little bit, if I may. And I know, we've had discussions before and talked about things. And, the city of Buena Park has a whole number of dealerships, to give you an example, as you know.
Yes.
In fact, probably more than some other cities around our area that are twice the size of this city. But if a manufacturer is already in the country, because we were just talking about out of country there, if they're in the country, and let's just say Hyundai or Kia or someone like that, how do they go about looking at maybe coming to a city, especially one like ours, which is a destination city? So we've already got great people coming here for cars. How could the city, or what does the city look at seeing if they're interested in doing something like that?
Great question. Thanks for asking. Part of our City of Buena Park's planning was to have an auto dealer destination portion to our city. So we have the entertainment, we have the auto sales, and other type of business such as the Koreatown and whatnot. Great restaurant choices, the malls, and so before I go on to that, so auto dealership, for instance, if you companies like Hyundai or Kia, they're very established already. They know how to do the American marketing. They have locations elsewhere. So so it may, I don't know if I'll be the right person to tell him this type of thing, but since they've already experienced it elsewhere. But if you are a new brand in auto market, the best thing is to talk to our community and economic development department.
Okay.
So our director is very accessible, and Matt will be like the first stop, along with council members as well.
Right.
It's really good to make that first connection.
Sure.
Yeah, to show your interest, and we can have a whole lot of detailed discussion on the plan, and we would definitely welcome additional brands here because, again, we need to ensure that there is a diversity of choices in the city of Buena Park, and that would be definitely a welcomed project.
I'm glad we touched on that. That was a good one. I didn't even know that. It wasn't even written down in the script. Anyway, never mind. We're all good. So, coming back onto obviously how you were mentioning your professional career and then how you really got into looking at becoming on council. And it makes total sense to me, if you're on different committees and involved very much with the community, it sort of leads you into other things and maybe asking different questions. What really sort of gave you that spark? Because being a council member isn't the easiest thing in the world. I mean, people give up a lot of their own time. They can deal with a lot of good and bad, right? So what is it that made you go, right, I'm doing it?
So it took me a while to come to that decision, but I have been serving as the one of the commissioners on the Cultural and Fine Arts Commission.
Okay.
For roughly three and a half years. And I'd say it took me over a year to decide whether or not I would like to run for District 1. My predecessor had to move on to, wanted to run for a higher position, and I was asked by the Korean community and other organizations who wanted me to be the voice, be the representative for District 1. But I didn't want to be in politics. I thought that you can do a whole lot of good elsewhere too, right? Right?
Sure.
On other levels.
Sure.
So, but I'd say the spark, if you want to call it a spark, is when I started walking, a whole lot of people told me, "I'm so glad you came out. I'm rooting for you."
Oh, that's nice.
They even gave me like roasted peanuts, water, and all kinds of things. And it just, like in the summertime when you walk, it's
hot.
Oh, it is horrendous. And the ground's dry and everything. And when you have your yard sign,
sure,
it doesn't go into the ground.
Right, doesn't go in the ground.
Right. So they wouldn't bring out like screwdrivers and all kinds of stuff to put my sign in their front yard. So that's when I thought, oh, wait a minute. It's kind of like, I think the community wants, or they told me they want somebody who can be a strong voice out there to get things done and take care of the needs. And it was mostly about public safety and economic development and better roads, better traffic condition, and so on. And obviously the safety in our neighborhood was like number one reason. So it just kind of like landed in that role, and here I am today.
So you mentioned something there, if it's impertinent, I don't wish to be so, that when you were going out, there were people who were asking you to represent them, and obviously the Korean community, you are Korean, or Korean American. Is it different do you see it? Is it different? Do you have to have more responsibilities? Is it harder because, cultures are different and people look at people different? Is there something you have to take on sometimes that weigh a little bit more than normal?
Oh, wow. That's a very thoughtful question. Thank you for that as well. Yes, I would say because I'm a Korean American, it seems like there's different needs for different types of community.
Okay.
So back when I was walking my neighborhood, a lot of them were my kids' friends' parents,
sure.
Right? Like that we've found in school. Their needs are a little bit different, obviously, right? The Korean community just wanted a representation on the council.
Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much all like they wanted. Make sure that they don't get different type of treatment.
Okay.
So equity was one of the reasons why. So that said, they have a lot of organizations, lots of nonprofit organizations.
Sure.
So it takes me, I'd say, probably more than just a part-time role to fill part-time hours to fill this role.
Right.
So double the work, I would say. That's why I quit my regular job a couple of years ago.
You didn't have the time to do that anymore.
I had no choice. Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
A lot of events and a lot of speeches and advocating for different type of folks and their needs.
Now, I know obviously your main focus being on the dais of the council is obviously all of Buena Park. But then, of course, when you get elected, you are elected for districts.
Yes.
What are the needs for those who wouldn't know or I'm not sure? What are the needs of somebody's own district? How do they differ maybe from the bigger picture of the city?
I would say that first off, there's 5 voting districts.
Yes.
And district by district, I think there are different needs.
Yes.
Right. Obviously, for geographic reasons or demographic reasons, economical reasons or social reasons. That said, each district, in each district, roughly about 17,000 population.
Okay.
And total of Buena Park, FYI, 84,000 plus. And it's growing, by the way. Yeah. So that said, when you get elected by roughly around like 50-60% of those population who are registered voters, okay, and usually the turnout is like 40% or less. It depends on whether it's mid-election or general election. But that said, you're not just representing your voters; you're representing the entire area.
Right. Okay? Exactly. Right.
Yeah. So your total 16,750 some folks. Okay, so I think that's something that we really got to be cognizant about.
Right.
Everyone should be aware. We're not just playing to the voice of the
smaller
people
part
that voted for me.
Right.
So that means going back to my election 2022, year 2022, I've counted all the votes or looked at all the data for it. It wasn't all Koreans, by the way.
Sure.
More than half votes were non-Koreans.
Right.
Okay, in all different area precincts, basically. So let me just focus back on your question, and is you're representing your district. Okay, the needs of your district. What are the current challenges and issues? Okay, that we got to fix.
Right.
When you go to the council, but when you are on the council, you're basically making decisions for other districts as well.
Right.
So that means your responsibility is basically fivefold.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're looking at the entire city.
Yeah.
And your decisions have to be based on what the majority. What's the best decision you can make for the majority? Right. But you still have to listen to all sides. So to me, if anyone asks me, who do you represent? And I've been asked that before. Okay. I am representing the entire city.
Right.
Yeah, I'm representing the city of Buena Park, the 84,000 plus folks. And not only that, I'm also representing, excuse me, I'm also representing the thousands and thousands of businesses that are here in our city. Okay, so and that also
that's another problem,
right? Yeah, not just the residents, but the businesses, right?
Yeah.
So I say the responsibility it's greater than what you would think.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you've been quite high up in the business world yourself. Obviously, your threshold for carrying responsibility. Some might say burden responsibility, but for carrying responsibility and also for dealing with some of the pressures, because obviously there's quite a lot there. How do you categorize it, or how do you personally deal with things that are going on? Because at any moment, as we've heard recently, you can have, something that's, catastrophic that happens in the city. Yet on the other hand, we could have something that's extremely exciting and rewarding. How do you deal with that as an individual? Because you're still dealing as a public servant, aren't you, out there?
If you're asking, how do I deal with the stress, or?
Yeah, I mean, how do you as a person, how do you, because there's a lot. We see it a lot,
yes.
When we're looking at council. At any given moment, on the dais there, you don't know what's coming at you, right?
True.
You sat
so
there.
True.
But yet you have to process this, you have to listen, you have to see, you have to process, you're thinking about it. But you also live here, you also care about the place.
Yes.
But like you said, you're having to make decisions sometimes on other things. So how as an individual, how do you get through that? Stress, strain, burden, responsibility?
I've been kind of like taking it easy at home, doing a lot of exercising and praying and and family time and so on. But it's just to keep health, right?
Right.
Once you're home, you just need to kind of shut everything down and stop thinking about your decisions that you just made tonight. Okay, try not to. But first couple of years, it really
that's going to be very hard.
Took a toll on me. Also, the reason why is because I wanted to make sure that I made the right decision.
Right.
But when I'm on the dais these days, I look at if it's black and white, yes or no. Okay, what is the ultimate result that I would like to see from my decision? Okay. Is that for the entire city? Okay. Is that a fair decision? Or am I just looking at my personal side of it? Right? Or am I just looking at somebody else's, the small part of the needs?
Sure.
So I really think that you have to have that macro view and the ability to determine or identify what would be the best decision. The identify the issues. What are some of the things that will challenge this particular decision? So you really need some analytical thinking while you're listening to the presentation and while you're listening to the public opinions when they come to the city council. So I'd say it's a pretty it's a learning process for probably the new city council members. Or any future city council members. But eventually you get there and you kind of find that comfort that, at the end of the day, I did it for the city.
Right.
I did it for everyone.
Right.
And this is a good decision for the future of our city and the next generation. Okay. It's something that's going to be negative towards particular communities or different types of folks or businesses. I try to stay away from.
Right.
A lot of times, people ask, what's the critical decision making that the city council members should make on? Like, what are the key things, right?
Right.
Obviously, we all want public safety, better infrastructure and economics and great roads and whatnot, clean roads and also climate action type of thing. So, but there's a lot more strings that come with it too.
Yeah.
So we have to look at the basic things that the city needs, and all the others are secondary to me. Yeah. So if somebody brings, for instance, issues that are like non-related to the improvement or the betterment of our city, then we would probably like kind of put a little hold.
Put a hold on it. Think about it later.
Yeah.
That must actually be very difficult, because sometimes it's almost like, well, it is, isn't it? It's almost you're working through it live, as in it's really happening there and then.
Yes.
And sometimes you might need more time to make a better decision.
True.
And for folks watching, some people might just believe that, oh, well, you don't have a stance on that. But really, in fact, you don't want to make a decision at that time, do you? I mean,
sometimes you don't.
You know what I mean?
We do get like the agenda and all the 800 pages of attachment to it, and you try to prepare in advance, and you also talk to the city manager prior to the city council meeting and so on. So we are, I think, in most cases, well prepared, but sometimes once in a great while, you're still undecided.
Sure.
Undecided going into the meeting.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. And a lot of people also approach you and have a talk on the side.
Right.
And our job is also to listen.
Yeah.
Right? We have to listen.
Yeah.
All right. So we go out there and we also listen to our community. And I just got to make sure. We have to make sure that whatever you're going to decide on, whatever you're wanting to roll out, okay, agendize, then it will have to be, you'll have to think about the community, the entire community.
Thank you for sharing that, because that's really great insight and helps folks understand the tough job that folks have that sit on the dais there. One thing that I hear a lot, because we're a regional chamber, so we have multiple cities and you're at multiple different meetings and things, and it's happening right now in our neighbouring city over in Fullerton. They're looking at becoming a charter city, right? Yeah. And there are a number of charter cities in Orange County. And every time it's brought up in council, there's public comment. People are always bringing up, oh, it didn't work in this city got sued. So there's always the bad stuff about the charter city. But one thing I've never seen or witnessed is anyone actually use Buena Park as an example, because as a charter city, you don't seem to have any bad stuff. You seem to run it really well. Serious questions or serious decisions, it seems like everyone on council is in agreement that maybe it's something that they give back to the community to make a decision on. What inspires you all as a group to do that? When you are a set of individuals, what inspires you to keep that somehow whole?
Let me answer that with a couple of different angles.
Okay.
First off, I think the base of the City of Buena Park government, the staff, the city manager, assistant city manager, and the entire staff, all the department heads, including our police, they are so well-seasoned veterans. Mm-hmm. They are. They pretty much went through a whole lot of different type of council,
of course,
members.
Right.
So their experience and the knowledge and the know-how that they bring to our council's decision making, I think plays a big role.
Right.
You know, they don't play politics. Okay? They have the same goal as the city council.
Yep.
And I usually don't hear the same thing about other cities.
Sure.
I'm sorry, other cities.
It's okay.
But so that's one thing I'm really, really proud of. You know, we have staff members who are truly caring government employees. Okay, they're not like complacent. Okay. Secondly, our city council, especially now that we have like pretty much a fresh team, right?
Yeah.
So I think we all agree, and I hope they all agree with me. It's all about teamwork, number one. Okay, no matter what type of different backgrounds that we have, ethnics or whatever, right? Your thought process, we're all different. At the end of the day, everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, we have a very diverse community here in our city, number one, and we have pretty good representation on the council, which is good. And we bring fresh ideas and fresh views or different type of views. But at the end of the day, this has to be a democratic process. So we have to vote on it, and we have to also discuss, listen, and keep the emotions out. And that's what I mean by teamwork. I'm not saying we're all having
hanging out, doing this stuff.
There is the Brown Rule, the
right.
Brown Act that we have to follow.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is the spirit that we have on the City Council is just, I think, awesome. It's really positive, and we all want to do something good for our own community.
Sure.
And we have a lot of years invested in our own community, right? So we love this community, and we want this community to succeed and grow and thrive, and make sure that everybody who comes to our city can enjoy the experience and have a great time living here. Quality of life is very, very important. So all that said, it's going to be pretty hard for anybody to see our city council in major fights or anything,
Right.
We are very respectful of each other. We do have code of conduct, and we have to make sure that, we're professional on the dais.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's something that I'm trying to keep this year as well, so we're definitely in progress.
Right. Well, it looks it. I think you're doing a great job. Well done. That's awesome. I really like that. And I totally understand what you're saying, because it's like running a good business, isn't it? If you've got fantastic leadership, staff, folks who understand what everything goes along, experienced, seasoned, I mean, it just makes for a stronger team all round, doesn't it, really?
Yes, and another key thing that we have to be following all the time is that this is nonpartisan. There's no partisan.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah. City council role is always neutral, nonpartisan, and it's always the key element that we have to consider at all times is what's good for our city.
Another part I'd like to ask you is obviously we're nearly 300 days into your current mayorship, and you've got, I think, 68 days left as the mayor until, I think it's the 9th of December, or whenever that date falls on the Tuesday that you do your thing. Yeah, the second Tuesday of the month. So far, what have you discovered, both in the role you're in now as mayor and even whilst being on council, that you were really determined to hope or see through for Buena Park? Is there certain things that stick in your mind, and even if I came off council, I still want to keep pushing this particular thing? Or
I would say there's a park project in my district.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we have a park called Friendship Park, right next to Beatty Middle School, and I would really like to see it at least get through the planning commission and get rolling.
Right.
Hopefully have a groundbreaking. So it goes back at least 2 years, and it's something that I'm very compassionate
about.
Very passionate about, and it's an older park. Nothing there except for old playground and a picnic area.
Right.
Everything's needs change. over 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we haven't touched it. There's a new gym coming to Beatty Middle School.
All right.
Yes, in the next couple of years, hopefully a couple of years. But we have to make sure that there's a public access from the park, and we have to do great remodeling. And I would love to see a place where people can gather, sort of like a pavilion area,
right?
Do events, concerts, and whatnot, and something that everybody can come and enjoy. It's not going to be just for one culture. It's going to be for all cultures.
Sure.
In our city, but a lot of District 1 residents, they walk around there that park.
Okay.
And there's a lot of great needs, and I would love to address that and get that completed within the next couple of years.
Now, that's a really good topic to talk about, parks, because parks have changed, haven't they, over the years?
Yes.
What does that do for the city? Because, people don't barbecue necessarily in parks as much, or maybe they do if they have the option, or like you said, parks might have a function where you host an event there where maybe it wasn't before. So how does that determine what you place in a park? Because there's good money that you put into a park too, isn't there?
I'm really hoping that we can get every good use out of it.
Right.
Every day. Pretty much, people that are walking their dogs, or having friends gather at the park, playground for kids, seniors, for them to utilize new exercise equipments daily.
Right.
And that's what I'm hoping, so we can get 100% usage out of this park.
And do you see throughout the city, going back to when you were discussing about districts and how they're all different, because every city's the same, you have more industrial on one side, less here, whatever. Do parks differ in areas? Like if one park is more favourable to this than maybe one that's just for kids, or does that change too?
So a couple of years back, we started the Master Parks plan.
Okay.
Yeah. Parks Master Plan, and that we actually went out to the entire community, all areas, did a lot of surveys, and there were a lot of common needs at all different districts.
Okay.
Certain districts also wanted a little bit more security, safety, and more, I'd say, pet-related and bench and so on. But overall, when you look at the entire scale of things, when we, prioritized the needs, I think we found good 10 to 15 items that we need to have at all parks.
Right.
Now, the only catch is that different sizes, different square feet.
Yes, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So some parks cannot have all.
Right.
Like the bigger parks, obviously, we would like to have pickleball courts.
Of course.
Right?
And suddenly couldn't fit them in. Right.
Right. Yes. Or dog runs.
Yeah.
Right. And so on. But we'll have to see. We'll try to definitely put everything possible there. Pack it with all kinds of great enjoyment for all residents.
So on the flip side of what has been most rewarding for you over your time on the council? What do you feel really proud about, or what you're really happy about, or what you've seen that's gone on?
I'd say there's been a lot of great moments in the past 3 years, like the little TOTS programs.
That's a cute one.
I go to their graduation every year, and the parents, the grandparents, and those happy little young toddlers. I just love that. That we have people of all generations and getting serviced.
Right.
Right. While the parents are working, we watch their kids and so on. So I think our community services department, they do a lot of work, a lot of programs, great programs that work, like the Volt program, and so on. There's certain things that we also did, like the Culture Fest, for instance. This is when I was commissioner, before my time on the council, we started the Culture Fest, and that's another thing too. Every year it's just getting better and better and better. Yeah.
That's nice.
In fact, this year we had drone show. Everybody loved it.
Yeah.
It was just awesome, and just all kinds of different things. We're bringing a lot of diversity into our city. Okay, the Buena Park Koreatown.
Yeah.
Right? That also brought a lot of visitors. We have been getting a lot of visitors.
Yeah. The K-pop stuff.
The K-pop stuff, right?
Huge.
Yeah, K-foods.
Isn't it like the epicenter of something, isn't it?
At the source.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's growing. And that's one of the reasons why, actually, let me just step back.
Sure.
In year 2023, my first year on the council, I brought a couple of things. One of them was the Korean Senior Resource Fair.
Okay.
A lot of Korean seniors don't come out to our senior center, unfortunately.
Okay.
Because of the language.
Oh, language barrier.
Yeah. So we started something that covers the Korean language.
Okay.
Bring out all the nonprofit resources, the social services agencies there all the time. Everything's translated.
Yeah.
Or Korean-speaking people are there. And then I've asked the services department to make sure that our super senior Saturday, right, that we have every August, it's not just in English but also in Spanish.
Okay, fair enough.
Dual language.
Right.
So that we can have more Spanish seniors who can come out and pick up some information. So we need to cover all the needs of our diverse communities that we have in our city. The second thing is Koreatown.
Right.
So I think there's been a little bit of a misconception out there.
Sure.
Joyce is pushing it because she's Korean.
Right.
That's not so.
Right.
I guarantee you this is not it.
Right.
Okay. We have forever been a great city, right? Entertainment for Knott's Berry Farm, the medieval times, the Portos, the pirates. Great. I love it. This is, in fact, the reason why I moved to Buena Park in the first place. Okay, I love the little entertainment, but this cool suburban feel to it. I checked out all the academic levels of different schools and so on. That's why I moved to District 1 and landed there over 20 years ago with my young kids and my junior high kid. So I got 2 kids. Anyway, so that said, the reason why the Buena Park Koreatown started was because we can't forever rely on tourism. Okay, we have the auto sales, we have the tourism, and the rest sales tax. Those are like major source of our revenue, city revenue. Okay, we looked at, or at least I've studied the trends of our. Sorry, I'm business-minded. So
of course, it makes sense.
Background, I have to look at the numbers, and I got to make sure that we are building a very positive economic future.
Healthy, yeah.
Right? We have to be healthy in order to serve our community.
Right. Yeah.
We need
pay
money
for the roads
to run,
and everything else, right? Yeah.
Right? And how do we get that?
Yeah.
Another marketing tool.
Yeah.
Right? So another marketing tool was the Koreatown.
Right.
Okay. We bring more attraction to the city of Buena Park on the north end. Okay, beyond the entertainment corridor.
Sure.
We have to because we have so many restaurants and so many choices.
Yeah.
And we got so many shops at the source.
Yeah.
And so on. So we named it Koreatown. All 5 council members said yes, that's a great idea.
Right.
In order to make our economy thrive, we need additional elements.
Sure.
Okay, to put that attraction in our city. So we are truly the center of the Southland.
Right.
Between 5 Freeway and 91 Freeway. So Koreatown was like one of the exciting projects that we did. And sales tax measure R, right?
Yeah.
That's another source.
Sure.
Over 42% of our sales tax income are from non-residents.
Yes, from people coming inside the city.
Visitors,
yeah.
Right? So,
which is very exciting to hear when you're, community residents, isn't it?
Yes, that's an additional $20 million of income to our city.
Yeah.
And that's going to speed up our road fixing, park improvements, infrastructure that, we have our city is over 75 years since the charter, okay?
Yeah.
Since the charter.
Yeah.
Okay. 75 years old. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have aging infrastructure.
Yeah.
We have to put some money, invest money in it so that we can sustain, right? And lastly, and very importantly to me, public safety.
Right.
We need more police officers.
Yeah.
We need more patrol officers. And we need some higher technology so we can better serve our community. And we can't stay in the old era.
Right.
We have to keep on moving.
Yeah.
Okay, and that means our budget has to keep on going up.
Of course.
And all that comes from all these other marketing tools.
Right.
And we have them readily at hand.
Right.
Why don't we utilize it? And that was the reason why I came up with the Koreatown.
Right.
And the community has been wanting it too, right? And this is something that the city has to own. Mm-hmm. We have to be responsible. We manage. Okay? Maybe 50 years later or 30 years later, maybe, if the Koreans move out, it's our thing.
Right.
We invent something else.
Right.
We have to continually innovate.
Yes.
And be creative.
Right.
In order to be responsible for the future of our own city.
Well, you're always looking forward. You're not looking at now so much, isn't it? You've really got to look at forward, haven't you?
You're right. It's a strategic planning for the next 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
And that is a key to the success of our city. And remember we talked about charter city?
Yeah.
That's where the local control comes from.
Right.
And as long as we're all on the same mindset to improve our city or to make sure that our city is a healthy and thriving city, if we all have that, I'm sure that we're not going to have anything negative, anything majorly negative.
I love the fact that you brought up Koreatown, and of course, now we've got the signs on the freeway, and it's positive impact showcasing what's there. It's not the only part of our business district, is it? The retail,
right?
And as you said, you've got to start thinking, forward. Do you, as the city, have thoughts, ideas for where our mall is? Because that's become a little bit slower than it was before, and obviously increasing. Can you share anything about that?
Yes. So I think the news has been out. We're building roughly close to 3,000 new housing. Yeah. Here and there, in the next several years, basically. That with some we approved, some soon to be approved, and whatnot. Okay. So that said, that means we're gonna have growing population here.
Right.
Okay. With that comes a lot of the concerns about traffic and all that, right? So we got to make sure that we have the right type of roads, key outlets to redirect the traffic and so on. It's very smart and critical thinking that we are right now going through.
Sure.
Okay. It's
big changes.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So that's not all areas. No. By the way, no. Certain areas will be kept. Our tradition will be kept. Our great old buildings, such as
this one here.
Yeah, this one here, where the NOCC is at. It will be preserved.
Yeah.
We have to have the old charm and the new innovation.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
They have to coexist.
Yeah.
So that's where the diversity comes too, right?
Right.
Okay. So going back to your question, which was
regarding the retail outlets and things like that. Right.
Okay. So the mall and on La Palma, they are going through new changes too, and they're getting ready. And the city council members are also out there talking to other opportunities, business opportunities, to make sure that we have the right type of business to serve that new community that's coming in.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm on That's one of the reasons why I also went to Korea and met with a lot of small businesses and so on. To bring unique shopping product, unique shoppable products.
Well, if they're unique, you're more likely to get visitors. And as you said, 42% of our revenue here for the city comes from outside visitors.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And unaffected by what's going on out there. Hopefully, something that would be sustainable.
Right.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
So that means you have to have uniqueness. You have to have like the right price point, right? And variety of choices.
Right.
And the fact that NOCC, your North Orange County Chamber.
Right.
NOCC. I'm so used to saying NOCC, and KACC, which is the Korean American Chamber, right, of Commerce. You all exist. You're all here in our city, and you're helping a lot of small medium businesses, right? And I'm also like in full support of that. We've got to make sure our existing businesses are going to succeed as well. And Andrew, you heard me say out there all the time, right? Whenever there's a business mixer, we are very pro-business.
Yes.
Your success is our success.
That's true.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Right? It's a partnership.
Yeah, it is.
And we have to support each other. So definitely we got, we have launched a couple of things to help our small medium businesses, like the new facade improvement program. That's grant, right? And we are visiting some small medium businesses as well, to make sure that we can meet their issues, figure out how to resolve their issues. So it's an ongoing project. It's a work in progress for us to support.
Now, there's a lot of folks, don't they, in politics in general, people say, oh, I'm very pro-business, but it means lots of things, and you've discussed a lot of strategic ideas there. What, if you were to explain, what does pro-business mean to you? And what I mean by that is, folks might just say, oh, well, I just want to make sure that we've got some extra retail stores here. But you're looking and very tactical. So what does, I'm pro-business mean to Joyce?
To Joyce, pro-business means an ongoing engagement.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Right.
From inviting them to here, making sure there's, the permitting and all that stuff is done diligently. And are there any issues? Try to help you. A lot of times when, like, for instance, back in COVID, the pandemic days, there were grants. That's it. Period.
Yeah.
You get the money, and the rest is up to you.
Yeah.
You're on your own to survive. Okay. For me, that's not, in our local city environment, it has to be a partnership between the city government and the small businesses.
Right.
Otherwise,
there's a breakdown, isn't there? Otherwise, it doesn't work out. Right.
So, I highly encourage small businesses who are, new here, have a grand opening.
Yeah.
Join a chamber of commerce.
Yeah.
Start networking.
Yeah.
We have to uplift each other.
Yeah.
Right? So when you have grand opening, all council members
you guys come in
we're
force.
always out there, right?
Yeah, you're like, oof, like an army of people.
Usually, most of us who can make it, we're all out there. We help you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't end there.
No.
Sometimes, like at restaurants or like new hotel sites and so on, we bring our business meetings there too.
That's right. Yeah.
And we go around different places to make sure that people know about this place.
Yeah.
Restaurants and hotel lobbies and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And whenever you guys have like annual events, right? We're there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We're there celebrating with you.
Yeah.
So we're consistently supporting our local businesses. And that's the only way to me, that's what I think the local government officials should be doing, our elected officials, at least, That's why one of the reasons why I'm busy.
That's good. That is true. You're right. You're out and about everywhere. You mentioned earlier Measure R, and of course that was very much steered towards another thing you mentioned was public safety. So it's passed. We're moving on. What are the city's plans for our public safety to improve? You touched on a little bit, but I'd love to hear more.
So far, we are trying to increase the staffing level. Okay. So we were always minus in staffing level, by the way. Oh. It was I think minus 9 or 10 positions. Really? Oh, usually, yeah. Wow. Yeah. I think one of the reasons why is because during the hard economic times. Sure. Yeah, back in the before 2010. Right. Yeah. I think we had to have a very tight budget, so we never filled the needed numbers of the police department staff. And now that we are very healthy with our budget, and we also have high reserve. Sure. We've asked the council's direction to our staffing level was the top priority should be service side, right? Which is the police, which is the people that are going to help new developments, right? Like engineers and so on. So that said, we are en route to hire I believe roughly at least 12 additional staff positions in the police department. On top of it, we made sure that the wage level is higher than the median. Oh, okay. So it's more competitive or inviting, let's say. You have to, right? It's a very competitive world out there. The larger cities are taking all the They're just taking higher, the staff for that. Right, because of the incentives. Right. So we wanted to make sure that our incentives was attractive. So that's something that we also did, the council. That's smart. Right, and we just approved the high-tech, I forgot the name of the drone, but it's really great drone system for security purposes. Right. Well, that's thinking forward as well. As you were mentioning before, you've always got to think forward, and we're already in those times, aren't we, I suppose? Yes. I think, you've been to our State of the City, and you, a lot of people... Which was wonderful, by the way. You all did a great job. Those singers, wow! Oh my God, that was an amazing show. That tops off anyone else's State of the City I've been to. I can tell you that much. I insisted on some entertainment to make sure that everybody's all ready to hear about the city, right? You got to get them at a comfort level. Yeah. And this was something different, by the way. And the venue was slightly different. It was in your district, right? Yes, it was at the Los Coyotes Country Club. And we also had, remember the backstage drop? Yeah. Right? It was all LED panels digital, with lighting and everything. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just giving that as an example. At certain time frame, at certain point, I think it would really make a lot of sense. It would make a lot of sense to step up your game. Okay, you need to go next level up. Yeah, right. Like in business. Exactly, right. Okay, so I wasn't talking business, but yeah, you're right. So you're going on to the next plateau of improvement, and that's something that I feel that our police department needs also, and they're on it. Yes. Our Chief Frank News he's awesome. He's just awesome. Yeah. He's a great man. Yes. Truly cares for the community and his team, and so they're leveling up on the technology. Let me just put it that way. So we'll see what goes. We'll see what happens. That's interesting. Yeah, and the quality of staff. That's awesome too. Well, as you mentioned at the very beginning, your first words was
part of the city is the quality of and experience of staff. So then why would you not implement that everywhere? Because you already know it works, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
That's amazing. That really is good.
And I already told you, like, we have really high quality staff already with our, at City of Buena Park.
Right.
And I'm so proud to be working with this team.
Yeah, no, they are. They're amazing. They are good. So if you were to give some advice to some young leaders, because obviously the city works very close with the school districts of all ages, what would your sort of like advice be to whether it's high school or college students if they were looking to play some type of leadership role in the community?
I think this is something that my kids went through as well.
Okay.
And your usual advice that you get from adults is like, hey, create your own club, be the chairman, and right? And that's why we have a lot of clubs.
Right.
That's great. That's also great. Community services also, they're at it. And I would say there's always room for additional community services opportunities, right?
Right.
At our city, we have the VOLT program for the youth to join and experience what's going on in our city. We also have the Youth Academy. You have like a total day of learning. I think this year we're getting 250 students that signed up.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's another experience, great experience. You get to see like the different departments and what's going on here and so on. So I think that would be a key thing. I believe there's some internships available for at least for college. For high school, I say contact your own city council members. They might be interested. Like for instance, I'm gonna have an election next year in 2026,
right.
And I could use some interns who can help me out with my campaign, right?
But they get experience.
Absolutely,
right.
Yeah, and they will get to see like right now I have a couple of interns, by the way, and they're going with me to all the community events.
Okay.
Yeah, and they see what can be done, and they're telling me, wow, I didn't know the city council does all the stuff.
Sure.
Right? All these extra things. And this is really great. Gets me motivated.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that's another avenue for them to take a look at. But to be community leaders, I think the number one for me, okay, I would like to tell the young generations, okay, be a critical thinker. Be on the alert. Do your own homework. Right? Please don't look at on social media outlets, great, but they're not
noise.
Yeah, they're not the true source of news.
Right.
Okay? If you're like really well versed with what's going on out there, okay, political, the world
as a
hurts,
whole. Yeah.
Right? The hunger, the wars out there, and a lot of different things going on. Please stay educated. Watch independent medias. Okay, and do your own fact checking, please.
Right.
Don't listen to rumors. Don't believe it. Don't believe all these little video clips that you see out there. That's not your true source of news.
Right.
Once you have that type of mindset, and you can get yourself well versed in that mode for months and years, I think that will help you make you into a better grounded person. Okay, this is I'm talking about, like, all these shooters out there, all these extremists, right? They are swept into this type of cult or whatever, right? Without probably, without knowing themselves.
Go with the flow mode, maybe, right?
Yeah, or like just propagandized and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm not talking left or right. I'm just saying extremes on all sides.
Yeah.
Both sides or several sides.
Sure.
Yeah. So please be awake, be alert, do your own fact checking, and do some real deep analytical thinking. And if I know it's kind of like, what? I'm only a high school kid. How can I do this? But you know what? It all starts here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to start early.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that you know what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just so well grounded means that you're just nobody can sway you into different things. Right.
Sure.
Then you'll also kind of figure out what you would like to do.
Right.
And don't forget, right? You can change anytime.
You can. That's true. You have that option.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
If you fail, doesn't mean that you're done.
Pick yourself
right?
up, do it again. It's all right.
Just get up and do it again.
Yeah. Just don't make that mistake
something
again.
different, right? Do something different.
Yeah,
I went through the same thing.
Yeah, we all
basically.
did. Yeah.
I traveled a lot. I experienced the world and different type of communities, and really, to me, that it was a big thing. Yeah.
So you mentioned a moment ago, which is a nice little segue here as we're getting close to our end of our little episode today. So you mentioned obviously you're campaigning because every 4 years, your time comes around, you've got to do it again. And what I've taken from today's discussion is experience is very required on the dais. So it makes sense why, if somebody was on council, why they would apply or try to come back on again, because you're going to be better, right? But going back to that area there and campaigning, and also moving forward, is if there was a legacy, because you're following a lot of not a lot, but a good few men and women who've done amazing things in this city. What would you like for people to remember you as during your terms in office here?
Wow. Thank you for that question. I would say Joyce Ahn really cared for her community. And she was very transparent, and she made sure that things got done.
I like that.
I don't play a lot of politics.
No.
I always do everything, I'm under the radar.
Yeah.
I don't like limelights. In fact, I told everybody before, I hate public speaking,
yes,
but I'm doing it every day.
Yes.
I've overcome that challenge, but in fact, it's every day. It's a challenge for me. I'm not that outgoing, but I really, really care for what's going on in my city. I love this city.
Yeah.
And my kids grew up here, and I got to make sure that my kids can stay here and take root in this community, as well as just like me, right?
Right.
And got to make sure we're on the path of growth and for improvement. And again, quality of life, it is in different ways. If you look at it different ways, it can be pretty subjective, but truly quality of life is a place where I can live safely, a place I feel comfortable, a place where I can raise my family, work and play, right? So that's going to be the quality of life at the city of Buena Park.
Look at that. Well, I think on that we need to end that, because this is amazing. Thank you so very much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, listeners, for tuning in to Chamber Talk. Until next time, stay inspired and connected by visiting nocchamber.com and selecting sign up for news at the homepage. For more interviews, visit chambertalk.podbean.com.